It was a moment no one expected. A moment that started like any other ordinary evening and ended with a single word that changed everything. Yes. But before we get to that unforgettable answer, be sure to hit that subscribe button because this love story is about to take your breath away. Now, let's go back to the beginning. Lee Min-ho had always been known for his poise, his charm, and his ability to command any room he walked into. But what the world didn't see was the nervous pacing behind the scenes, the countless drafts of a speech rewritten in the middle of the night, and the one velvet box he kept hidden in his coat pocket for weeks, waiting for the perfect moment. He wasn't just proposing to a woman. He was proposing to the love of his life, to the woman who had quietly become the center of his world, Kim Go-eun. For years, fans speculated. Were they more than co-stars? Was there something real behind the on-screen chemistry? Every glance, every shared smile, every subtle touch sent fans spiraling. But neither of them ever confirmed anything. Until now, the truth didn't come in a headline. It didn't arrive on the red carpet. It came in a candlelit garden, surrounded by soft music, twinkling fairy lights, and just a few trusted friends who had no idea they were about to witness a turning point in K-drama history. It started when Min-ho invited Go-eun to a private celebration. A thank you dinner, he called it, to honor the end of their latest project. Go-eun arrived in a simple ivory dress, not suspecting a thing. She had no idea what was waiting for her. As she stepped into the garden, her eyes widened. The soft sound of piano keys floated through the night air. A string of lights stretched across the trees, and in the center, a table for two. Min-ho stood nearby, dressed in a midnight blue suit. His eyes locked on hers the moment she entered. "Min-ho, what is all this?" she asked with a quiet laugh, clearly touched but confused. He smiled. "You'll see." They ate. They laughed. They talked like they always did, softly, comfortably, like two people who knew each other down to the breath. But then, as the evening wind began to pick up and the stars shimmered above, Min-ho stood up and gently took her hand. "Come with me." He led her to a small clearing, where a narrow path of petals led to a white arch wrapped in jasmine and eucalyptus. Kim Go-eun paused. Her expression shifted. Her eyes blinked slowly as if realizing this was something more. He turned to face her, hands trembling ever so slightly. And then, he got down on one knee. Gasps escaped from the nearby staff, watching from a respectful distance. But Go-eun, she froze. Her hands flew to her mouth. "Min-ho!" He looked up at her, his voice shaking but steady. "Go-eun, I don't know how long I've loved you. I just know that I always have." The world stood still. "I've waited for this moment, not because I needed to be sure of you, but because I needed to become the kind of man worthy of you." Her eyes filled with tears. "I don't want another day to pass without you knowing exactly what you mean to me. You've made me softer, braver, more human." He opened the box, revealing a delicate rose gold ring with a single oval diamond, the same kind Go-eun once casually said she admired during a late-night walk in Paris. "Kim Go-eun," he said with a voice full of hope, "will you marry me?" She didn't move at first, just stared at him, frozen, in awe, until finally, she whispered one word. "Yes." Her voice cracked as she said it, but there was no hesitation. Only truth, only love. "Yes, Min-ho." Cheers erupted from a few of their close friends who had secretly been hiding in the shadows of the garden, clutching tissues, already crying before the words even left her lips. Min-ho stood, slipping the ring onto her finger. And then he kissed her, not like a scene from a drama, but like a man who just heard the one answer he'd waited his whole life to hear. She kissed him back, tears running down her cheeks. And in that moment, under a sky full of stars and a heart full of forever, two souls who had once met as co-stars finally became something much more. Real-life partners. Engaged. A new chapter had begun. The night didn't end with headlines or flashing cameras. They danced barefoot under the stars, holding each other like the world had melted away. Their friends joined them in celebration, passing around champagne and hugs, stunned by what they had just witnessed. And still, the couple kept things quiet. No official statement. No press release, just love, shared intimately. But the internet, it never misses a beat, because a single photo leaked just 2 days later. A blurry shot of Go-eun's hand resting on Min-ho's shoulder, and on her ring finger, a glimmering diamond. That was all it took. Speculation exploded. Is that an engagement ring? Wait, are Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun really? Did he propose? Hashtags surged across social media. Hashtag Go-eun said yes. Hashtag Min-ho proposal. Hashtag Mingo engaged. And just when the world was holding its breath, waiting for confirmation, Lee Min-ho posted a single line on his story. Some answers don't need noise. Just truth. Right after, Kim Go-eun posted a simple photo. 2 intertwined hands. No caption. No explanation. Just love. The fans lost it. The industry paused. And the world finally got its answer. Yes. Yes to love. Yes to a future. Yes to a journey that had quietly bloomed behind the scenes for years. Colleagues began congratulating them subtly online. Directors hinted at how true love always finds its way. Even their stylists liked fan pages that celebrated the news. It was clear. There was no denying it anymore. Kim Go-eun said yes. And Lee Min-ho, he became more than a top actor that day. He became a man who proved that real love doesn't always need grand announcements. Sometimes, all it takes is a garden, a trembling voice, and one perfect word. Yes. And now, they're planning the next step. A private ceremony, according to close insiders, is being arranged for spring in Jeju Island. With cherry blossoms, close family, and the same soft, quiet energy that defined their proposal. Because for Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun, love was never about putting on a show. It was about showing up. For each other. Over and over again. So the next time you think of fairy tales, remember, some don't end with the end. They begin with yes. The world was still spinning from the shock of it all. One blurry photo. One uncaptioned Instagram story. One simple word that echoed in every fan's heart. Yes. Kim Go-eun had said yes to Lee Min-ho. And just like that, Korea's favorite on-screen couple became something much more. But what came next? No one was ready for it. Because just weeks after the surprise proposal that left even their closest friends in tears, the whispers began again. Not from the press, not from tabloids, but from the quiet corners of the internet, where fans pay attention to everything. A florist in Jeju posted a now-deleted story of a massive shipment of white roses. A luxury resort suddenly went completely private for 3 days. And someone spotted a familiar pair, tall, graceful, walking hand in hand through the gardens at dusk. It was them, Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun, together, at the same place where it had all started. And this time, they weren't just planning a vacation. They were planning forever. Before we reveal what really happened,